Welcome back once again to yet another session at Lalans IAS. And here, as our goal of providing you with content which is relevant, which is consolidated, and which is a kind of a one-stop solution for you for all your examination purposes. So, with that aim, let us move ahead with a new topic which has been in news and has been uh, in the news for the last few days, and quite a bit of volatility has created both in the domestic front, especially with respect to what is happening in Punjab, as well as at international front in terms of our tailspin of relation, or you can say the relationship between India and Canada has took to new low, or there has been a meltdown of relation between India and Canada. So there has been repercussions on that. So what has been the trigger for this events? So the trigger has been the killing of Nijjar, Sir Harvinder Singh Nijjar, who was killed. Mr. Hardeep Singh Nijjar was killed under mysterious circumstances. Was gunmen by a few gunmen whose identity are yet to be disclosed or yet to be uh, found out by Canadian police. But there are allegations. What the Prime Minister of Canada says, there are credible uh, allegations against uh, India, or you can say against the involved, or credible allegations supporting involvement of Indian uh, intelligence agents, intelligence officials in this killing. But again, that is under investigation. That is yet to conclude. So it has created quite a tremor. Now, what we have decided in dealing with this topic is that we will obviously look into that topic at hand, the issue of who this person is, how, what was his activities, and what are certain activities, suspicious activities that is being carried out in Canadian soil, and how the government of Canada has even if saying has been like saying that it has been permissive, it can be quite a strong word, but you can say it has looked the other side, while certain nefarious activities has been carried out in its soil. So that is one aspect. Then the declining Indo-Canadian ties, as we see uh, the latest news of government of Canada accusing India uh, of non-cooperation in this investigation, while at the same time we see Indian government is accusing that Canadian diplomats are involved or are interfering with the internal affairs of India. So all in all, there is a free fall in the relation. So we will look into those aspects. We will look into the background of it, and then we will look into the issue of covert operations, how and what is the basis, or is like, can you justify it, or is it a credible, or is it a legitimate use of or legitimate tool in the security toolkit of any country. Then we'll look into the Five Eyes Alliance, which has been in news, the intelligence sharing agreement between the five countries of Anglosphere, means in English-speaking countries, namely USA, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. So all those things we'll look into it, but at the very outset, we will look into the state of Punjab. We have various notions on Punjab. Actually, a few years back, there was this movie called Urta Punjab, which depicted certain, uh, you can say, dark underbelly of Punjab, the issue of drug. But although it has been over, you can say, it is not a correct depiction, because it has showed Punjab in a very, very poor light. Situation is not something like every youth in Punjab is under the influence of certain intoxicating drugs. But Punjab do have a drug problem. Punjab definitely have a gangster problem, and Punjab definitely has unemployment problem. Punjab has industrial problem. So there are multiple aspects that drives the problem within Punjab, which creates this, you can say, mad rush to Canada. Canada, like Canada, is not the sole country where Punjabis are migrating to. In fact, there are countries as strange as Armenia, Cyprus, you can say Italy. There is massive migration from Canada. But the point is that youths of Punjab, majorly speaking or generally speaking, youths of Punjab are more willing to go abroad to make a better life. Why is it? Because there is lack of opportunities within the state. So all those aspects we will look into it further first. So that is how we have designed it. What is the domestic issue that is driving or domestic situation in Punjab that is driving certain uncertainties within Punjab? And then one more thing, we will look into the fact why the generally the news is such that we are more driven by rhetorics. Rhetorics means you are speaking in a way that you are trying to influence somebody or trying to generate an opinion favorable to you, which may not be linked with reality. So there is rhetoric and then there is reality. So now, regarding the discourse on Khalistan, Khalistan is a not a very, you can say, right word to describe any disturbance in Punjab. There is a tendency among some section of media to associate everything, every problem emanating from Punjab as being linked to the Khalistan problem. So, as we saw the farmer protest a couple of years back, so that was also linked by section of media to the Khalistani issue, but again, that has many nuances to it. So we will look into it and we will also explore this fact. We will try to assert this fact that why every problem in Pakistan, in Punjab, is not merely a connect to the K word. K word means we are referring to the Khalistan issue. So that we will also look into, we will delve into it a little bit. So let us begin in that on that note. So now, if we talk about Punjab, Punjab, what's Punjab? Punjab is a critical border state. As I have been saying to you, that you should always have a secondary glance on the map while studying any issue, any location. So that will make you appreciate the complexities of the issue. So Punjab, I'm very sure most of you, if not all, know the location of Punjab. That is like just bordering Pakistan, just adjacent to the bigger sibling of it, the Western Punjab, which is in Pakistan. So it is a very critical border state of India. So geographically, territorially, it is a very significant zone. And it has been a potential flashpoint for Pakistan to interfere. There were reports of tiffin bombs, if you have been following the news. And Amrinder Singh, the previous, not the immediate previous, like the Channi was the previous CM, then before him there was Amrinder Singh. So he made certain allegations on media that Pakistan has been using drones to drop tiffin bombs. So all these problems has been there, but you cannot merely circumscribe problems of Punjab into merely a security or ISI based issue. There are more nuances to it. There are more deeper problems that is affecting the state. So, what our general impression with respect to Punjab is actually while growing up, for us in the as kids of 90s, we grew up with the fact that Punjab, along with other states like Haryana, the south, certain states like Tamil Nadu and Kerala, are the topmost states of India in terms of both richness, prosperity, happiness. So there was this notion that Punjab is a rich, Punjab is a happy, Punjab is a robust state. Okay. So this has been a part of our collective memory. In fact, some of you might have heard about the train called, there is a train, I think it is called Mazdoor Rath or something in that line. What it pertains to is that there is a huge number of laborers, migratory laborers from the states of Hindi heartland, that is UP and Bihar, going every year to the fields to work on the fields of Punjab. They are known as bhaiyas in Punjab. So these bhaiyas from UP and Bihar, they go to Punjab to help the farmers there or the landlords, the landholders there in cutting the crops in farming activities. In fact, while farm protest was going on, we saw massive rallies, especially the most visible aspect of the farm protest was the Punjab farmers. So, according to experts, it is believed that they could stay there because yes, from UP and Bihar will go to their fields. So that is a phenomenon. So these things we associate with a state which is very rich or well-to-do, at least it is self-sufficient, something such a notion has developed. So, and it is very, still it is one of the largest contributors to the production of rice and wheat. Rice wheat production, it is one of the most important contributor to the surplus stock that India right now has. India do not have food insecurity problem or food insufficiency. There is definitely food insecurity problem in terms of nutrition aspect. But in terms of availability, we are having surplus food stocks, especially on cereals. We are having surplus stocks as we see reports of APSC go downs being flux with food grains. So as so such a picture projects two things. One, that Punjab is a rich state, and second, the Punjab is a agriculture based, or it is, you can say, more a rural state. Means there is low industrial base, obviously. So industrial base is lower compared to say state like Gujarat or Tamil Nadu or Maharashtra, but it has good agrarian base. It was the hub of green revolution in the 60s. So that way, our notion has developed there, and especially popularized by Hindi movies. We have seen those Chopra movies where the scenes were shot on mustard fields. So in the rice fields. So all those makes this pretty projection of Kashmir, Punjab as a very, let's say, vibrant state. So all these things are good. So far, it is good. But the reality is that this assumption is out of date by 20 years. I don't know if you will be surprised or not. Maybe you are not, if you are up to date with your current affairs. Punjab right now is number 15 in terms of per capita income in India. among all the larger states, that means states having a GDP of more than 1 trillion rupees, Punjab comes at number 15. Okay, and if you consider all the UTs and states together, because states like Goa, or for that matter, UT like Delhi will have huge per capita income. So if you club them together, then Punjab comes at number 19. And lo and behold, the average per capita income of India is like, if this is the line, then Punjab is here, and all the laggards, that means the states whose per capita income are below the national average, are below it. So it is at the bottom uh, of that scale where per capita income of India is averaged. So if you, for this, I think if you look at these certain graphs, these things will be clear. So this is a data taken from the website theprint.in, and there it says the per capita income in Punjab, it ranks 12. Actually, they have taken out Goa from this equation. So net state domestic product per capita for 2021-22, look at the rank of Punjab. It is even below states like Karnataka, Haryana was a part of Punjab. Himachal was part of Punjab at one point of time, but they are both having per capita income higher than that of Punjab. And just below that, of course, for some it is quite pathetic, but Punjab, we have seen a gradual decline. This is another data to show how Punjab's growth rate has declined. Growth rate means the basis of its base GDP, how much it has progressed. So 1 year GDP is 100 rupees. If it increases to 110 or 105, it means 5% or 10% increase. So here, look at this graph. It's again very interesting. Here Punjab's growth rate is also very low. It is just barely 5%, whereas states like Gujarat, Karnataka, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, even Assam is having higher growth rate in this last decade compared to a state like Punjab. So what does it tell? When we draw a analogy or we try to extrapolate the graph on per capita income, it means that the average Punjabi is not getting richer. And secondly, the graph on growth rate of GDP shows that the total pie, total asset, or total value of economy of Punjab is not growing. So there is this, you can say, there is stagnation in economy of Punjab. So that is driving this immigration drive to countries like Canada. Then this is another important graph. The third of Punjab's output comes from agriculture. So again, it is dependent, it's over dependent on agriculture. Of course, there are other states like MP, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh. All these states are also dependent on it. Look at the state like Kerala, just 11%, then Gujarat, 16%. So what does it indicate? It indicates that the other two sectors, namely the manufacturing, the industrial sector and the services sector, dominate uh, this graph. But in case of Punjab, it is 29% agricultural sector. So that means it's still a predominantly agricultural or predominantly rural economy. So this all this data points to two things. One, that Punjab is stagnating and Punjab's growth trajectory is not looking up because of its structural composition of its economy. So there are certain structural changes which is required. So Punjab stagnation again. The farm laws, I don't know what many people right now may have multiple opinions on the farm laws that was brought in. But I personally believe that the farm laws were quite progressive, although, yeah, the way it was brought in the parliament, there were procedural issues, there were challenges with respect to creating a broad-based acceptance of that law. But if you were asked the question, do we need reform in agriculture? An overwhelming majority will definitely say that yes, we need reforms in agriculture, and farm laws were a step in that direction. So if any state required the farm laws or any state required reforms in agricultural sector, it should have been Punjab. But they were at the forefront of the protest. Again, I will not blame the farmers of Punjab for protesting. There were definitely miscommunication from the side of the government. Government should have taken the farmers of Punjab to confidence, should have assured them how the changed laws or the changed agrarian statutory norms would have been beneficial for their well-being. So it should have been put in a different manner. But having said that, it also points out to the fact that another very disturbing phenomenon that we see across India. We, there has been a question asked on this in UPSC exam. So there is this paddy wheat cycle or rice wheat cycle that keeps on going. This is the cycle of agriculture that whole India is in a way trapped. We see like in terms of oilseed also although now there are certain steps that have been taken, like in Assam there is a promotion of palm oil. Then throughout India there has been renewed vigor in production of legumes, in production of, you can say, dals of the right kinds. But still, the predominant crop cycle is the paddy wheat cycle, which obviously is again distorted by the MSP system, which you can say incentivizes the farmer at the detriment of both the economy as well as the ecology. Ecological disaster is also there because we see why we see there is ecological impact, because we see misuse of fertilizers, which skews, which distorts the land fertility, distorts the soil organic matter, all those things. I'm sure you should have studied in your environment or science and tech classes. So all these things are creating a problem all over India and especially in a state like Punjab. So fields are manned by vehicles and paddy wheat cycle is going. The children, that means the youth of Punjab, they're hell bent in going to Canada. And interestingly, there are phenomena. I don't know if you have heard of it. There was a movie. mm, I don't recommend you, but you can at least go through any brief on this. There's a movie called Judge versus IELTS. IELTS is an exam required proficiency in English language. So it is an exam which is necessary to, you can say, apply for education visa or something like that. Western state, European state, or Canada or USA. So there was this movie. It showed a phenomena. You know what is this phenomena was? Abandoned husbands. We hear of abandoned wives in Punjab. There is this phenomena of abandoned husbands. So how it works is very interesting. You can look it further, but briefly to tell you, it is something like a guy marries a girl who has cleared IELTS. She goes to Canada with the offer that, if the bridegroom's, the boy's family finances her travel there, then she will arrange for the boy come to Canada and they can stay together. But what happens is that once the girl reaches Canada, she forgets about this. So there has been actually cases of suicides by such a man. So such problems are happening in Punjab. What does it show? Well, actually, it appears to be funny, but it shows the fact that there is lack of opportunity for youth in Punjab. There was this documentary named Portugal. there it showed something which is very much into current literature on economics, something called modern slavery. Modern slavery, definition, if we look at its definition, it means that you are willing to work at a very, very low pay. It amounts like a slavery. Slavery, what was the nature of that economic slave economy or slavery? Slavery was basically a system where there was inequitable or you can say disproportionate relation between the slave and the master, where the slave worked and he didn't get anything. There was no equal transaction for the labor that he had put in. So modern slavery is something, it is equivalent to the slavery that happened there. Only difference is that some nominal amount is paid, although that is minuscule, that is actually not aiding or improving the quality of life of the person. So we see modern slavery uh, as a term being used. It was used during COVID. Uh, I have mentioned in my previous classes how uh, COVID pandemic drove people to take up jobs at without bargaining for a good deal. So that led to people accepting jobs at a very, very low pay and very, very low facilities. So such things happen. And in this documentary, Portugal, modern slavery for EU passport. It was the full name of the documentary was something like this. So what it showed was there was this mad rush, and mainly Punjabis were shown. So they were actually paying loads of money for a tourist visa to Portugal. So around 12 lakhs, 13 lakhs rupees were paid to these travel agents to arrange them a visa to Portugal. What they used to do in Portugal was on hourly basis, they used to work on the farms. They will toil endlessly on the, you can say, strawberry fields or raspberry fields like that, and do just manual farming activities at very low pay. They will be living in dormitories like slaves. So all these things were done. And what was the reason? You'll be very surprised. Because if they stayed in Portugal for 7 years, it created the opportunity for them to get the Portuguese passport or citizenship, and that way they could gain access to many countries without visa, including Canada. So in a way, it was a, you can say, there is multiple illegal channels going on in Punjab, multiple illegal immigration channels going. They obviously they dupe very gullible people, as well as they create certain illegal nexus to actually send people to countries like Canada. I don't know if these things are happening, but it's happening every day. So such things are happening. There is, what does it show? It points to the simple fact that there is unhappiness, there is anger, there is frustration, real frustration among people. So stability and security of Punjab suffers. So as I pointed to you earlier, Pakistan putting drones with different bombs and like with having bombs or guns or weapons. All these things are actually or potential that can create trouble because Punjab is in trouble. So Punjab economically is in trouble. It creates social trouble. Punjab's um, self-sustaining power has declined a lot, especially since the 90s. So it has been a, you can say it has been a 2 decade or couple of decade long storm. That means this new millennium has not been kind to Punjab since 2000. Actually, till 2000, Punjab was the richest large state, but post 2000, as I have pointed to you. Right now, it is in the number 15. So Punjab, mind you, has been quite resilient state. Punjab has weathered many troubled times. Actually, if you see 1947, 47, it impacted Punjab the most, but still it recovered. Then for 15 bloody years, say 1978 to 1993, it saw what? It saw the terrorist movement or the insurgency or the separatist movement in Punjab, which is uh, known in media as the Khalistani movement. So all these things it has faced and it has resiliently stood fast. But now we find it that it is losing its way, and it has been gradual. This the current decline, mainly economic decline of Punjab, has been quite gradual. That many people have actually missed it. If you ask people of your parents' vintage, they will find it very difficult to believe that Punjab is no longer among the top rich states of India. Even not even among top 10, they will be actually they will rebuke you if you tell them that Punjab is not among the top states. So actually, it missed the post 1991 reforms that that happened in India, the industrial revolution that was brought in by the post 91 reforms. It missed the bus, actually. And in fact, its siblings, as I told you, Punjab and Haryana got separated in 66, and then Himachal came into being. So right now, Punjab's per capita income is merely 1.69 lakh, whereas Haryana it is 2.65. Telangana has the highest, 2.7. Himachal is also not doing bad, in spite of the fact that it's a hill state. It is 2 lakh. So post 1991, if we try to find a commonality or the common thread among the states which has actually improved or which have actually boomed in economic sense, then we find that each of these states have urbanized. These states have built major urban centers, and these centers are acting as magnets. Consider a state like Haryana and consider a place like Gurgaon. Gurgaon is a satellite town, Haryana, and it is acting as a magnet for investments, magnet for growth, magnet for new economies. And here we are not merely referring to those steel and iron industries while we talk about economy. Here we are talking about modern technology based industries like some industries in finance, term is fintech companies or ad tech companies. All these things are driving the modern economy. So this will only flourish in urban centers in an urbanized setting. And unfortunately, Punjab has seen no such thing. Punjab has seen no new urbanization. Its all urban centers are still those only. No new urban centers are coming up. Manufacturing is low in Punjab. Services sector is low. So how can you expect new opportunities to be created? So without these things, your argument becomes very placid. So always have such data points. So what can we summarize from this discussion? We can summarize that Punjab has remained trapped, has remained trapped in farming. It is a rural state, or you can say it's a urban state. There are urban centers, but there are too few. Like not fully urban, not fully. It is definitely a state in decline, and it is, you can say, a state that is an opinion, but you can say Punjab is a state which is living in its past glory. And right now it is getting a very brutal reality check. So, what are the like fallout of all this chaos or anarchy, or you can say in lack of opportunities or lack of growth? What is the fallout? The fallout is drugs, the drug problem in Punjab. The fallout is the madness for immigration. The fallout is the gangsters, devil, organized crime. So all these things we see in India. Every now and then we see certain new elements rising to revive something old. But again, like the Amritpal Singh, that, that fellow came up uh, claiming massive support, but now he's lying in, but in Dibrugarh he's lying. There's not been any mass movement to demanding this. That itself says actually there is always in all this media hype, you should always look behind the lines or between the lines. There is always a very vocal minority and a very silent majority working as an undercurrent. So do not get swayed by a vocal minority. So you might feel that something really bad is happening because certain small sections are shouting, and you feel or you presume that that is the voice of the whole uh, conglomerate of whole people. But that is not the case, as we have seen in case of Amritpal Singh. And yesterday news that he began a hunger strike and he will gain media attention. These people they do these things too. They, they want the public gaze to be on them. So even in farm sector, even in farm sector, states like Rajasthan, states like Madhya Pradesh, they are doing in fact better than Punjab. Punjab's farm sector is right now growing slower than states like MP. Okay, so actually, unlike a state like Bihar, unlike a state like UP, or for that matter, Mumbai, you have huge urban sprawl. You have huge urban poverty. Hmm. You have, you can, your poverty is very much visible in states like UP, Bihar. But in Punjab, you do not see such uh, extremely poor people. In fact, Punjab has one of the lowest levels of inequality in the country. In fact, how do we measure poverty? In terms of poverty, also, it is one of the lowest poverty levels in the whole of India. Actually, there is this organization called Niti Aayog. I'm sure everybody knows it. Niti Aayog publishes a MPI, multi-dimensional poverty index. On that scale, Punjab is third, and only Tamil Nadu and Kerala is above it in uh, in terms of poverty level. Only Tamil Nadu and Kerala has fewer number of poor people than Punjab. So what does it say? Two things. One thing is Punjab has less inequality. There is less division between rich and poor. Punjab has low poverty levels. And another corollary to it, because it didn't see the industrial revolution too much in 90s, there is a section of economists believing that who project the fact that the industrial reforms or the LPG reforms of 92 were detrimental to India's agriculture. It is true to some extent, but you can argue the fact that agriculture should also adjust itself to the changing times so that it appears or it can gain benefits of liberalization. It can get benefits of access to the global market. So there are certain, you can say, sympathizers with Punjab's existing model, but the reality is that Punjab should have changed quite a long time back. And since it didn't change, since its leaders didn't feel the need to change, now it is suffering all this menace. So all Punjab has low inequality, low poverty, but it also has, you can say, that really wealthy people are also missing. So can you smell something? Low inequality, low poverty. Can you smell something? You can smell Marx. You can smell socialism, or what is called socialist utopia. Socialism also presumes that such a society with low or like no inequality, it means total equality, low poverty level, will be a very happy society, prosperous society. But do we see such a thing in Punjab? That is again a busting of the socialist utopia, that human nature will all will make it difficult, because human nature is not something very you can say very prone to stagnation. They do not like stagnation. Human nature is such that you want to have this uh, urge to keep growing, to keep getting better. So that essentially creates a division in society. But what the situation in Punjab says that this socialist utopia is not something that Punjab desires, because otherwise they would not have gone for this mad rush for emigration. So you can say the leaders of Punjab has failed the people of Punjab, and actually Punjab's people has voted with their feet. Have you heard this phrase, voting with feet? Voting with feet, what does it mean? It means, like, when you are voting, what you are doing? You are actually exercising a choice. You are giving a preference. So if somebody gives, he may give his preference by casting his vote on the ballot paper. But if somebody gives a preference by an action, say you are moving out of a place, that is also a preference that is shown, that see, I don't see any future of me in this state, so I'm moving on. So that is like voting. So the fact that so many Punjabis have the dream. In fact, there is a Gurudwara in Punjab, and I've seen pictures of aeroplanes being presented or donated in the Gurudwara with the assumption that the Lord will bless the child to go to Canada. So such is the situation in Punjab, and such is the reality of Punjab. And that reality is necessary to appreciate the events that is happening, to safely navigate the rhetorics that is happening. So having like got familiar with the economics of Punjab, or basic economic decline, or basic current scenario of Punjab. Now, if we look at, we also should now see what the problem is now. So many tries to portray this problem as a Khalistani problem. Khalistan. Anything happening in Punjab, they will say Khalistan, Khalistan. So what was Khalistani movement? As I told you, it was a 15-year bloody movement that was crushed by the time, like it ended in 1993. Punjab's people took, rejected this movement. That's why it could end. So it was a separatist movement. Separatist means they wanted, the supporters of this movement, they wanted a separate state of Punjab or state of Khalistan. And it was a terrorist movement. There was insurgency, there was active support from ISI. And uh, right now, its remnants are no longer to be found in Punjab. Actually, there is this English proverb that you should not paint the devil in the wall. If you paint the devil on the wall, then the devil may appear someday. So just projecting it as Khalistani actually may provoke a reaction from the Punjabis who are Indians, and they are like as equal Indians as any of us. So if you always question their allegiance or always put their allegiance to question, then they might get trouble, and they should, more disturbance can happen. So we actually should separate the two things. What is happening in Punjab? What actually is happening in Punjab is organized crime. But organized crime is the most, you can say, disturbing or most significant challenge for internal security of Punjab. So it is not a separatist movement, at least within India's Punjab. I'm sure you might have heard about um, organizations like Sikh for Justice and Bapar Khalsa International. All those agencies, as rightly pointed by MEA, Ministry of External Affairs, they find safe haven in countries like Canada. They take advantage of the freedom offered by democracies, and the leaders there also do not actually stop them because of, again, vote bank politics. As you know, Justin Trudeau has a very strong support of the Punjabis immigrants, or Punjabi natives of Canada. So actually, it is a, you can say, a fantasy, yeah, utopia among those who are there. Actually, there was this person called Pannu, who is supposedly the lawyer of this person, Nijjar. And there was a referendum conducted for Khalistan, and many people voted. But interestingly, not a single Indian voted in it. All the people who voted for this Khalistani referendum organized by Mr. Pannu, Paramjit Patu, what of that? I am not able to recall his name, Gurpatwant Singh Pannu. So interestingly, all were either Canadian or European country citizen or American citizen. So anyway, they were not going to forego, even if Khalistan is created, they are not going to forego their Canadian or US passport. So it's like you are just having a fantasy, having a delusion, and you have your spare time, you have your money, so you are engaging in it. But let them enjoy, let them have their fun. But actually, we in India should be certain, or we should be appreciative of this fact that people of Punjab are as much part of India as any state, and we should not ruffle feathers simply because this is an unnecessary scenario we are trying to paint. So the problem is organized crime. Yeah, there is definitely, as I rightly pointed out, because of lack of opportunities, lack of all this economic development, industrial base, it creates the thriving grounds, fertile grounds for youngsters, for, for youths to go astray. So drugs, organized crime, all these things uh, do happen in Punjab. So there is a nexus between gun smugglers, drug smugglers, and extortion hits. All these things are there, and then it is mixed with the popular culture of Punjab, mostly Punjabi music stars. Huh. You might have been familiar, or obviously know the death of Sidhu Moosewala, was supposedly to be close to with one so-called Bambiha gang, and who was uh, allegedly this Lawrence Bisnoi's gang, or Debra's gang, is supposedly behind his murder. So what does it show? There is an organized crime network. The nexus is there. It's an ongoing and familiar phenomenon, and it has to be tackled as a organized crime, not as a separatist insurgency, because none exists. Separatist insurgency does not exist there. It is an organized crime that is going on. So we should actually look into it in a very objective manner, non-rhetorical manner, in a very practical manner. And only we can look at the, or you can say, tackle the problem. Now, how is it linked to Canada? Because again, as I told you, many immigrants are there in Canada. In fact, out of all the immigrants from India, 40% of Canadians were of Indian heritage are Punjabis. So there are dominance of Punjabis, and there are bad elements also going out. As I told you, there are various nefarious channels which provide access to Canadian visas and later on gaining of Canadian passport. So these people, they go there, they have the safe haven there, and so from that they create networks here, and they create troubles here. So Canada is important because Canada has the fountainhead of problem in Punjab. So there are elements in Canada disturbing peace in India and Punjab in particular. So that way Canada comes into picture. So with that we come to end of this class where we discuss the Punjab aspect of thing. In the next class we will discuss Canada and why the trouble with Canada and how historically things has gone. So till we meet again, thank you.